Welcome to Nightique. I'm Edward St. Pé. Well, tonight, another group from the New Stage Theater production of It Ain't Nothing But the Blues, which is presently going on at New Stage. We've got Mr. James Martin, a trained Juilliard opera singer who is performing in this production, and also Mr. Red Blissett, who will accompany him and play a song alone for us. So we've got exclusive performances and interviews coming up next on Nightique. Stay tuned.
Since 1849, Carter Jewelers has been a part of Jackson's rich history. Over 163 years later, we've not only survived, Carter Jewelers has flourished. From generation to generation, we've established a tradition of excellence. Our reputation is built on customer satisfaction, service, and trust. Every piece of jewelry is handpicked, so you know you're getting the best value.
Nobody says I do like we do at Carter Jewelers.
Come see us and be part of our history.
Bengal presents From One Legend to Another.
Good day. I must say I've deduced that Bengal roach spray is a superior product. It's kept all traces of those vile creatures from my home, which lets me focus on more meaningful pursuits.
People trust Bengal Roach Spray's legendary performance. No odor, no mess, no roaches. Bengal Roach Spray really works.
With Bengal, I love having a little more me time.
Ingalls Shipbuilding is hiring electricians, structural welders, machinists, ship fitters, pipe fitters, and pipe welders in our Pascagoula, Mississippi site. Signing bonuses available for pipe welders only. Positions are union represented. Come build your career with Ingalls Shipbuilding. Go to www.huntingtoningalls.com/careers or call 888-935-1507. Well, James Martin is with us. James, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate you taking the time to come, because I know you're in the middle of a play right now, a production at New Stage Theater.
Yes.
It Ain't Nothing But the Blues.
Correct, correct.
And so you are performing in that production right now.
I am. My character's name, if there's a character, is Mississippi. So as a Mississippian, I represent Mississippi.
So now you're singing blues in this production.
Correct.
Right? Okay,
correct.
But let's segue back to your career. Mm-hmm. You are a classically trained opera singer.
Yes.
And so tell us about that. Now, we have to learn more about how that came about in your journey as an opera singer.
Well,
and where did you learn how to become an opera singer?
Well, I went to Juilliard to study opera. And actually, the first time I saw this production was while I was at Juilliard. It came to Lincoln Center in 1998. And so I went to see it, being a little bit homesick for Mississippi and the blues. I went to see it and was very struck by it. And I've been very fortunate to have a little bit of a European career and to work here regionally. And then when I saw New Stage was doing it, I asked them, is there any possibility that I might be able to participate? Because I believe very much that music is music. And in my studies, we didn't talk about the blues. We didn't talk about our music as Americans. We talked about Schubert, we talked about Brahms, we talked about Bach, but we didn't talk about W.C. Handy, we didn't talk about Robert Johnson. We didn't talk about spirituals, really. And so...
Is that changing, do you think?
Yeah, it
today?
is changing.
I think it is, too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's a broader perspective. And, you know, I mean, you would think that today, I mean, knowing what we know as blues being more or less the fountainhead of popular music worldwide, mm-hmm. you would think that that perspective has changed.
Well, interestingly enough, as a classical musician, I always have to try and legitimize myself as somebody who's interested in popular music, and I always have to put a little bit of popular music on the back burner on my programs when I do recitals and things. So I put a little bit of pop music in with a lot of classical, and as the years have gone on, people have wanted a little bit more American music, and so as a consumer and as a producer, I have to do what the audience wants. And it's really wonderful, actually, to be able to own our traditions now.
So this particular production traces the beginning of blues and through all of its evolution.
Sort of. It starts with African chant, and then there's a one chant that's really kind of interesting that has a little bit of French, a little patois, a little bit of this in it, and so it kind of shows how the chant has morphed into what was then the spiritual that the African slaves were doing here in the South, and then from the spirituals it moves into a song form, and then the song form elevates into the actual blues that we have, and so the second act is all concert. Yeah.
So what is the blues?
What is the blues? That's a good question, because as a classical musician looking at these songs, you go, there's not much there. There's only a few chords, really, right? But there's a whole lot of stories. And music in general is storytelling, whether it's through the tones that you make or the words that you use. In classical music, we oftentimes use poems or pre-existing pieces of literature and then put music to them. But the blues is really a song. It's a story. And you put the story on those chords and you add the soul and the heart of the person, and it becomes its own art form.
You mentioned soul. I mean, that's sort of a pivotal part of it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of we were talking about it in the prior show we did with Kimberly, who's
Mm-hmm.
also in your production, and we were talking about the word soul in blues. Soul is like a direct derivative of blues, because it's sort of a catharsis of the soul. Blues is, you know, it sort of is crying out in pain or
Exactly.
in joy in a way, but but pain too, right?
Yeah, you know, the whole African American experience has always been, where do I find my joy, right? If I'm in this horrible situation where someone or an institution of people have degraded me to the point where I am a piece of property and that I have no soul, I have to find the depth of my being, in the core of my being, not just a will to survive, but I have to find my joy, I have to find my humor, I have to find my intellect, I have to find a way out of this place. So those people at that time drew from that horrible place and found humor, because the blues are always about, you know, just like country music is always about somebody taking somebody's wife and
Right.
losing my wife.
Coming through the back door.
That's right, and my dog's dead, and you know, all that business.
Escaping through the back door,
Yeah,
or whatever it might be.
So that's where all this comes from, that humor. You know, what happens in an awful situation, you gotta look at the bright side, and you gotta find your joy. You've gotta find your truth that gets you out of it, your God, whatever it is that helps you to get through the day.
You know, what you're speaking of, you know, speaks to the power of the blues, really.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because that is where it's coming from, and that's a powerful place. You know what I mean? That's a powerful. That is rock bottom.
Well,
that is the real deal there.
Yeah, that's what music is in general. And if we get away from that,
If it's real.
right? If music is real, we all feel it.
Right.
You could call spirituality music, because music transcends any word that you call for your creator, right? Everybody feels music. Everybody understands something from someone else. So if I don't have this language or that language, if you don't understand one word that I'm saying, if I sing a song to you, you can hear My soul.
We can relate.
We can relate.
Universally, you know. Well, okay, James, we're going to take a short break and we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit about the production before we hear the performance, okay?
Perfect.
So we'll be right back with James after this. Stay tuned.
Bengal presents From One Legend to Another.
When I moved down south, I was not prepared for these insects and pests. I'm so glad my neighbor recommended Bengal. Now I can spend time doing more of what I love.
People trust Bengal Products' legendary performance for insect problems in and around the house. Bengal products really work.
Using Bengal gives me more time with the love of my life, Mr. Snuggle Muffins.
Hi, I'm Dr. Amanda Rice with Quinn Healthcare, and I believe in the power of exercise. Many patients ask me if they would develop high blood pressure or diabetes just because their parents did. I tell them that although we cannot change our genetics, we can control our diet and level of exercise. Simply making better choices can change your life. I'm Dr. Amanda Rice with Quinn Healthcare, and I want you to know that you are in control.
Well, we're talking to James Martin, and James, you are a Juilliard-trained classical singer, an opera singer, and you're based out of Jackson. You've been around the world, you've performed in many locations, and you are in the production that New Stage is doing right now, It Ain't Nothing But the Blues.
Yes.
Okay, tell us a little bit about your character and some of the songs that you're singing in that production.
Well, I'm singing the part of Mississippi, which is basically the man who originated the role. His nickname was Mississippi. It's a very interesting production because the show was actually created by the singers who sang in it. So we're just using our own names, and I get to keep the nickname of Mississippi, since I'm from Mississippi in the cast. I get to sing a great number of songs, including some spirituals about a work song called Oh Alberta, which is a little funny. And then in the second act, I get to sing Can't Stop Loving You, the old Ray Charles tune. I think Elvis did it too. And I also get to sing Goodnight Irene. And I always want to call it Going to Chicago, but it's not. It's I can't remember right now.
The great artists that you mentioned, the songs that you were mentioning.
Yeah.
Do you have any particular favorites? I mean, we're talking about, you know, the evolution of blues into the contemporary world of music, because you mentioned Ray Charles. I mean, if you start out with some of the original blues artists and take it all the way back up to the Chicago era and then into the popular, the world of pop music, basically, Ray Charles and such.
Right.
Any particular musicians that are your favorite, or even composers that are your favorite?
Well, I've been on a bit of a blues kick as far as the more classical blues. I've been working with the W.C. Handy Foundation for a couple of years now, so I've been tracing a little bit of that music, as well as oh, I can't even think of it. My mind is all blank. But I went looking at W.C. Handy, and then that led me to start looking at a little bit of Robert Johnson. So I've been on a Robert Johnson kick for a little while now.
Okay, what did I don't know if I asked you, will you tell us what song are you going to sing for us tonight?
We're actually going to do a Robert Johnson piece called The Walkin' Blues.
The Walkin' Blues.
Yeah. We put it together in the show. We actually do a Robert Johnson tribute, since he was so influential in the blues. And it starts with a song that I sing called The Walkin' Blues, this one. And then it goes into Come Into My Kitchen, and then ends with the Crossroad Blues, because the legend has it that Robert Johnson went down to the crossroads and met the devil and made a deal with the devil, and then came back the baddest cat around. But now, if you ask the Johnson family, a member of his family says that he went down to the crossroads, met the devil, and turned away from the devil, and that's why he became the baddest cat in town, which is kind of what happens to every artist, right? We go to that place where we're rock bottom, or every human being, where we find out who we are, right? And so this place, that's not where I want to be, so I'm going to be who I really am, and I'm going to pursue that with the core of my being. And I think that's what happened to
I like that
Johnson.
side of the story better, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a more inspiring, redemptive version of the story, yeah. Because I thought there was always a disconnect with the other angle on that story. There's a bit of a disconnect,
Yeah.
But so great. Okay, so good. Well, we're looking forward to the performance, and the production is going through, I believe, June 14th.
June 14th. We've had a holdover because it's been so popular. We've sold out all the performances up until the end. We were originally going until the 7th, so now we've held over, and we'll start back on Wednesday, June 10th, going through the 14th.
So let's take a look at the website on the screen now. There's the website for tickets. If this production is over with and you're watching the show, let's say you're watching a rerun, which could be possible, newstagetheater.com for tickets for other New Stage productions, right?
Correct.
Okay, good. Well, James Martin will be with us, and we'll have the performance coming up, so stay with us. Thanks for being with us, James.
Thank you for having me.
Congratulations and good luck in the future.
Thank you.
Since 1849, Carter Jewelers has been a part of Jackson's rich history. Over 163 years later, we've not only survived, Carter Jewelers has flourished. From generation to generation, we've established a tradition of excellence. Our reputation is built on customer satisfaction, service, and trust. Every piece of jewelry is handpicked, so you know you're getting the best value.
Nobody says I do like we do at Carter Jewelers.
Come see us and be part of our history.
Ingalls Shipbuilding is hiring electricians, structural welders, machinists, ship fitters, pipe fitters, and pipe welders in our Pascagoula, Mississippi site. Signing bonuses available for pipe welders only. Positions are union represented. Come build your career with Ingalls Shipbuilding. Go to www.huntingtoningalls.com/careers or call 888-935-1507.
Hi, I'm James Martin, and here with my friend Chris Blissett. We're singing The Walking Blues from Ain't Nothing But the Blues at New Stage Theater. Well, I woke up this morning searching round for my shoes. People, don't you know I've got these walking blues? Said I woke up this morning searching around for my shoes. Oh, people, don't you know I've got these walking blues? Said I'm leaving this morning, even if I have to rob the blind. I've been mistreated and I don't mind dying. Said I'm leaving this morning, even if I have to rob the blind. Don't you know that I've been mistreated down here? And I swear that I don't mind dying. Well, people try to tell me these old worried blues ain't bad. It's the worst old feeling that I've ever had. I said, people try to tell me these old worried blues ain't bad. No, but it's the worst old feeling I swear that I've ever had.
I'm Dr. Quinn, and I believe in the power of exercise. Many patients ask me if they're going to get high blood pressure or diabetes because their parents had these conditions. I tell them that we cannot control our genetics, but we can control our diet and level of exercise. Practicing healthy decisions result in a better outcome. I'm Dr. Quinn, and I want you to remember that you have control.
Bengal presents From One Legend to Another.
Good day. I must say I've deduced that Bengal roach spray is a superior product. It's kept all traces of those vile creatures from my home. Which lets me focus on more meaningful pursuits.
People trust Bengal Roach Spray's legendary performance. No odor, no mess, no roaches. Bengal Roach Spray really works.
With Bengal, I love having a little more me time.
Hey, I'm Chris Blissett. They call me Red over at New Stage Theater, where we're doing It Ain't Nothing But the Blues. In Act Two, we start to talk about how blues affected country music, and I get to demonstrate it with this Hank Williams song. If the wife and me are fussing, brother, that's alright, 'cause me and my sweet woman got a license to fight. Why don't you mind your own business? Mind your own business. 'Cause if you mind your business, you won't be minding mine. If I go out honky-tonkin' past 203, that's my headache, brother. Don't you worry about me. Just mind your own business. Mind your own business. 'Cause if you mind your business, you won't be minding mine. Minding other people's business seems to be high tone. I got all I can do just to mind my own. Mind your own business. Mind your own business. 'Cause if you mind your business, you won't be minding mine. Yeah, if you mind your business, you'll stay busy all the time.
I hate to see the evening sun go down. I hate to see the evening sun go down. It makes me think of my last go round. St. Louis woman wears a diamond ring, pulls her man around by her apron string. If it weren't for powder and her stone-bald hair, well, that man I love wouldn't have gone nowhere, nowhere. I got the St. Louis blues. I am blue as I can be.
Since 1849, Carter Jewelers has been a part of Jackson's rich history. Over 163 years later, we've not only survived, Carter Jewelers has flourished. From generation to generation, we've established a tradition of excellence. Our reputation is built on customer satisfaction, service, and trust. Every piece of jewelry is handpicked, so you know you're getting the best value.
Nobody says I do like we do at Carter Jewelers.
Come see us and be part of our history.
Ingalls Shipbuilding is hiring electricians, structural welders, machinists, ship fitters, pipe fitters, and pipe welders in our Pascagoula, Mississippi site. Signing bonuses available for pipe welders only. Positions are union represented. Come build your career with Ingalls Shipbuilding. Go to www.huntingtoningalls.com/careers or call 888-935-1507. That's James Martin and Red Blissett from the New Stage production, It Ain't Nothing But the Blues at New Stage. Tune in to Nightique.com for more info on our show.